What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Y'all get on in here. I know it is 4:07, and some of y'all are probably like, what is Dienva doing? He doing this show early. What we got going on? Oh my God, we must not be getting the show tonight. And guys, to the contrary, that is not what's going on at all. A very, 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 very special friend reached out to me. And she said, Q, I need a favor. She's like, I'm rallying up all the troops. Things going on with the SNAP benefits. This is the first time in our lifetime that, folks have gone without food in the government. And she was just giving me all this information and just rattling and rattling and rattling. I was like, okay, V, hold on. I said, stop. This is way too much for me to process, so I'm going to have you on the show. And then it was like, when we have people on the show, we only do 15 minutes or whatever. And I was like, you know what? The conversation that we started having was so good. I said, V, I'm going to do you one better. I said, instead of having you on the show, just as a little guest setup, I said, we just going to do a whole standalone show just to talk about this situation. And it seems to be right on time because reports are coming out that despite the fact that one of the courts noted that Trump must use emergency funds to give people their SNAP benefits, Mr. Orange don't got up in there and said he don't give a damn what them people said, that he ain't giving us nothing, that they're going to have to wait. And he is trying to strong arm the Democrats into voting the way he want them to vote to reopen the government and take away all of y'all health care. And in the meantime, in between time, folks are still out here missing paychecks, missing benefits, and feeling very insecure when it comes to food and other essential funds and items needed to feed their families and feed themselves. So, guys, this is a very special episode, a standalone episode of Funky Dienva Live, where I'm going to bring on very shortly Valencia Gunder, who was going to come on. And y'all, we are just going to really, really talk about all things SNAP, the history of what's going on, where people can get help from if they need help, how you can give back, how you can help, how you can mobilize people in your community. If you are a caterer, if you are a restaurant owner, if you are anybody that deals in food, we are going to have all types of information as to what you can do to help out in that situation. Also, guys, please don't forget, today is Tuesday. All right. And if you live anywhere like I live, there has not been a whole lot of attention that has been pointed to the fact that we have an election today. But I'm here to let you guys know most of what we deal with in our day-to-day lives are things that are voted in on the local level. And just because a whole lot of emphasis and hoopla has not been placed on your local election, guys, y'all need to go to your website. You can type in "where do I vote" and put in your respective state. You put in your name, your date of birth, and your zip code. It will tell you exactly where you're supposed to vote. And in addition to, like I did this morning, it will give you a sample ballot so you have an idea of what's going on the ballot. Last but not least, before I bring our special guest on, guys, I started a little susu board, if you would say, on my Instagram page where I asked people who were getting food stamps and other benefits that did not receive them this month. I asked for them to drop down in the comments, put the amount that they were getting in their Cash App, and it's giving you guys the opportunity to go up under their comment and to donate to those people. Please put the amount of money that you donated. And this isn't a Marvin Winans who donated the most to the church situation. The only reason why I ask you to put the amount under the person's comment is so we can make sure that we spread the wealth and that one person doesn't get everything. So this is the way it works. If you're the person who needs help, you put, I'm Krista Williams. I normally get $500 a month. Here is my Cash App. If I'm Quentin Latham and I'm donating and I decide I want to donate to Krista Williams, I go up under her comment. I just wrote 100 from me. And then I went in Cash App and I cashed apped it to that person. That way they got the money, and that way y'all can see, okay, of the 500, this person already got four. So we don't give that person everything and we spread the wealth. If you want to give back that way, feel free at this time to go to my Instagram page and or my Facebook page to jump in and do that. But without further ado, guys, I am going to bring on to the stage right now somebody who is a very, 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 very dear friend of mine. We both from Miami, both was in Tallahassee at the same time, and somebody who's got the patience, the strength, and the gift to deal with the community on a level that I never would. And that's why I will always lend my platform to my girl, Valencia Gonda V. What's the tea?
Hey, Quinn, how you doing?
I am doing better than I deserve. I'm doing better than I deserve. V, before we get started, just for the people out there, tell these people a little bit about who the hell you are and why the hell you are on my line.
Yeah, so I'm Valencia Gunder. Most folks call me V. I use she, her pronouns. And I have the privilege and the pleasure to serve as the CEO of the Smile Trust. I'm the executive director of the Black Collective and the lead math scientist at the Freedom Lab. Yes, I have a lot of jobs. I identify as a revolutionary and an organizer. And I also met Q just randomly at a cousin's house,
Mm-hmm.
and we've just been friends ever since. I went in there as a fan, and he came out the door like, "I know you," and I'm like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I
so
remember.
we've been connected for a very long
For a
time.
very long time. And V has always been one of those people that I called on in Miami when I had an issue with something going on in the community, or I needed to know something, or I needed to understand something politically. V was always the person that I called who had the answers. And if she didn't have the answers, she knew who to connect me to. So, V, let's just jump right on it. Baby, the people is not getting their benefits, right? For reasons beyond us. We know that the government is shut down, and in the midst of the shutdown, people's SNAP benefits are hanging in the balance. Let's speak to that a little bit, V. Let's the biggest thing I want you to touch on in this moment is when you were talking to me and you were saying that this was the first time in our lifetime that folks was going without food. Talk to us a little bit about what you were saying in regards to that.
Yeah. So food stamps been around a long time, right? You know, we went from the food stamp FSP program, food stamp program, to EBT, and then now we have SNAP.
Mhm.
Right? But all of this has been federal food service programs since the 1930s. So the New Deal was introduced during the Great Depression here in America as a political agenda to end poverty,
Mhm.
right? So a lot of things were introduced at that time, food stamps, also public housing, all of those things was introduced in the 1930s. And you also would see, if you look at any housing projects in America, most of them was built between 1930 and 1935,
Mhm.
right? So that's just showing like this whole thing around social services has been around for an extremely long time. And I'm only 41, so that means since I've been on this earth,
Mhm.
it's been these benefits, right? That I have also benefited from in different times in my life, regardless of what type of family I come from, you know. And even if my grandma didn't get the food stamps, when I got access to some food stamps, I used them.
Mhm.
Hello,
Most definitely,
and even
especially when we
as
was in college, baby. Everybody
a
had them a little piece of card when we was in Tallahassee. Okay.
listen, my little $80 used to hit. I know it wasn't much, but it carried me over.
Oh, that part.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the thing. So the first food program was actually launched in 1939. So it was introduced in the bill in 1930s, early 1930s, launched in 1939, and they it went all the way into 1949. Then they decreased the amount of money they was putting into it. They never stopped it, but they decreased it. And then again in the 1960s, you saw another uptick,
Mhm.
and that's when they introduced um the new food stamp program. That's when you go get your book.
Mhm.
I remember back in the day, I
Mhm.
don't
Yeah, the
know, but
different
I
little
stood in the
stamps,
food stamp line.
brown and orange and red. I remember
I used to
blue.
love me a $5 food stamp because they
Yep.
give you the change in cash.
Yep. 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 Yep.
So so yeah, the food stamp book, and then from there they went electronic. That's when you got
Mhm.
into BT and everything, and now we have what you call SNAP.
Mhm.
Older food programs had a lot of restrictions on what you can buy and what you can't buy. They really forced you to focus on essentials, but y'all know right now, long as it's not cooked food, you can purchase it from the
Mm-hmm.
store, which people should have freedom to buy what they want when they go in the grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just some historical things because I think sometimes, Quentin, like people always talk about these things, but I don't think they understand that when people have food stamps, that money actually flows into our economy.
Mm-hmm.
That's how the grocery store cashier gets paid.
Mm-hmm.
That's how the stock boys get paid, and all of these things. Like y'all have to understand that the food stamps is just not like money that people get to throw away. It's not invisible money. This money is a part of our economy, and
Mm-hmm.
people need to understand that. And two, food stamps is our tax dollars.
Most definitely.
So
Mm-hmm.
yes, our tax dollars should be to feed the people because we pay taxes.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing in America. You give up some of your rights and you pay taxes so that your government can take care of you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's always supposed to be the American way.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people have gotten away from it because, the stigma that came with it,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I kind of feel like some of the stigma is a pretty new stigma, but back in the day, some people look down on food stamps, but nowadays people really, really look down on it in ways that I really don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
Because I wish I had a food stamp card. You hear me?
That part. That
I,
part.
I would swipe it proudly. So, and then I'll pause after this. I just also think about over the years where where the food stamp money has been able to help people do a lot of different things.
Mm-hmm.
And Q, I could say this on your platform. I know people who done started whole food trucks with food stamps.
Mm-hmm.
It helped
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneurs. And I know people be like, oh, that's not the use of it. Yes, the hell it is.
Yes, it is.
Every other race in America uses government resources to launch their wealth, launch their thing, and then we are expected to launch ours and live our lives without the support
Mm-hmm.
of the government when it's literally our people who built this country. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sorry to get churchy Q.
No, no, it's the truth.
But yeah, so I just wanted to like just address that the history of it and understand like this conversation around it because people actually do depend on food stamps,
Mm-hmm.
right?
And
And
it's funny,
uh-huh.
V, because it wasn't until the government shut down, came down, that it was brought to not only my attention, but a lot of people's attention, just how many people's households are dependent on SNAP benefits. And God knows I've been using my voice as loudly as possible to help dispel the stereotype that it is just, you know what I'm saying, the irresponsible girl that had 6 kids from 6 different men. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know why society, black, white, yellow, and everybody in between, has attached one face to food stamps, and it's the black girl with 6 kids with no daddy in the house. And this situation has truly opened up our eyes to realize that it is not quiet as it's kept. Based on my calculations, that profile of that girl, that's the least of people on food stamps from what I'm seeing. What
Correct.
I'm
Correct.
beginning to see and what my eyes have opened up to is that there are so many of the working poor, people who got good jobs, people who get up and go to work every day, people who got federal jobs and county jobs, who are relying on those couple $100s a month in stamps to fill in the gap because the cost of living in this country is so doggone high, and they are part of the working poor. So guys, we have got to get out of this, oh child, fuck them people in the ghetto, they deserve it, they make them bad decisions, they need to stop having all them damn kids. We got to get up
Yeah.
all out of all of that, because it is the same mom and dad that's in the carpool line at that same nice ass school you sent your kids to. They
Stamps too.
asses on stamps. It's that same lady that sit 2 cubicles up from you, that wear the nice perfume, that drive a nice Altima to work. Her ass on stamps too. You might not know it, but when you look around, everybody in their mama ass is on stamps. So this affects everybody.
Correct. Correct. And I think about what you were saying. America is like a propaganda machine.
Mm-hmm.
And the face of welfare was always a black woman.
Mm-hmm.
They put us to the forefront, even though we are
Mm-hmm.
the least recipients of it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want nobody to ever get it twisted. And we look at it by race. Black people are only 14% of the population in America. Y'all think we get 100% of the benefits?
Mm-hmm.
Stop.
Mm-hmm.
In no America, ever. That's
Mm-hmm.
one. Two,
Mm-hmm.
black women yes, we are leading in the head of households, but also we are not the ones that are always getting food stamps,
Mm-hmm.
right? I
Mm-hmm.
know mothers of two children got a decent job and they don't even qualify for the stamps,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
We already know what the deal is with that. And also, you're correct. We just when we started the conversation, we was talking about when we were in college. College students get food stamps.
Mm-hmm.
They should get food stamps.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Yes, mothers with children should get food stamps, but it's not just them. You see troops get food stamps.
Mm-hmm.
Federal workers get food stamps.
Mm-hmm.
Working class, the poor working class. It's a lot of people who
And the
receive.
elderly and the disabled.
And Florida has the highest population of senior citizens on SNAP benefits in America.
Yeah, and they need them. So V, let's move in the conversation into this. What we gonna do? What do we do? If you are, let's start here. If you are somebody, regardless of where you are, and you came up short this month, you got more month than there is money, and you're without your benefits, where should these people start, V, in terms of feeding their babies?
Yeah. Oh my God. So I know you know my organization, the work we do here in
Mm-hmm.
South Florida, but we don't work across every city. However, as I've been doing this work for the last 12 years, I know a plethora of organizations. You can also like literally Google social justice organizations in your city, and more than likely they're doing mutual aid food distributions right now or passing out gift cards for groceries.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the best way you can do it. Find the organizations that's been fighting against injustices, and more than likely that's where you're going to find the food.
Give
That's
us
a
exactly what to type in Google.
Yeah, social justice organizations in my city.
Okay. So
Okay.
social justice organizations, Orlando. Social justice organizations,
Yep.
Memphis. Social
Yep.
justice organizations, Little Rock. Wherever you are, you want to Google
That's right.
social justice organizations in your city. And like V said, that is a great starting point because that's going
Yeah.
to at least pull up quite a few organizations. Also, guys, I see some of y'all in the comments right now. Please feel free to write in the comments the city, the county you're at, and the name of the organization so people can also use this comment section as a
Yeah.
reference guide for where they can go and get some food. V?
And I was thinking about doing something next week. Like I was gonna list down all the orgs that I know
Mm-hmm.
in all the different cities and like post it up on my social media, like
Mm-hmm.
reach out to people. And even if that organization is not doing the food distribution themselves, I am more than sure they know of somebody. And
Mm-hmm.
that's a good start. Also, you can look up food pantries in your city because you'll be surprised that it's food pantries all around your city that you're just not aware of. So that's another thing. Food pantries in my city.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing you could Google. And that's just a easy way to do it. I know people are trying to set up some platforms so they can identify places and things like that, but that's coming behind the wave. Like people need food right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
think the best way, use the tools that you have and that you know about to do the things. Also, you know, I know people are not as community engaged as we were when we were children.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we were able to go to the neighbor and borrow rice and
Mm-hmm.
things like that. But I think like if you even if you don't do it amongst your geographical neighbors, you can do it amongst like your friend group if y'all all
Mm-hmm.
live in the city. Like we gonna buy this case of lead quarters and we gonna bust it down together.
Mm-hmm.
Like we could, like that's another good way. Like buy bulk food, like you and your friends for y'all houses and y'all split it up. Then everybody house can eat, and it's
Mm-hmm.
cheaper for us to get food like that. Cause I hate cleaning lead quarters, but you can find a case of lead quarters under $100,
So
and
can.
that a stretch. In college, I cleaned lots of lead quarters. I hated it, but we ate. You
And
feel what I'm
that's why it
saying?
is the official meat of the Black family reunion, bitch, because we can
That's
get a
right.
whole lot of meat off those doggone leg quarters, guys. Also, too, come on, Black churches, all of y'all that's on usher board number one, usher board number two, usher board number three, all of y'all that go to church every Sunday. If your church isn't doing anything, I beg of you to ask your pastor,
You gotta
why
call them to
are we
order.
not passing out
Yeah,
food? Like I definitely love what Jamal Bryant did over at his church, and I think
absolutely.
many other churches should follow suit. In lieu of bringing in cash money for tithes and offering, he asked everybody to bring in food. Somebody wrote, "Is this still live?" Yes, it is still live. VV 6601. We are still live. You guys, so social justice organizations, your city, that's one Google search. Food pantries, name of your city, that's another. You've still got
Mhm.
going to your church. I honestly don't see a world right now, even if your church doesn't have something set up. I really don't see a world right now that you go to church on Wednesday for choir practice and you inform somebody in the church that you ain't got no food and they don't provide you no type of help.
Correct.
I really just don't see it. Even if your church don't have something organized yet. And let me tell you something, you guys, you can't be too proud to ask for help if you need it. I saw a lot of people DM me on my Instagram the other day, or they DM somebody that knew me, and they were like, you know what? I put my pride to the side, and I put my name on Funky Dienva page, and a couple people sent me $30. Listen, baby, like TLC said, I ain't too proud to beg, bitch. Okay, listen, listen. First of all, I ain't never been too proud to beg,
Never.
especially if the shit gonna help advance your situation. So I know a
Yeah.
lot of us sometimes we don't want a bitch to think we doing bad. We don't want nobody to know our business. But baby, if you hungry, please go down to your church and open your mouth and pull somebody to the side and whisper in the ear, letting them people know that your ass hungry.
Absolutely. And some of the things I think about is we started our food rescue last night. So at the Freedom Lab, which is in Liberty City, y'all, 4300 Northwest 12th Avenue. Any and everybody could come there as long as you're respectful. You can get what you need. We also have a free clinic on site. The only free clinic in urgent care in our community. So if you need those two services, food and things like that, you could come through. So the Village Ridge, shout out to the Village Ridge, their organization inside of the Freedom Lab. They've been feeding for 5 years, 6 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
They've already been doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Hot
Mm-hmm.
breakfast in the morning. You pass out sandwich bags, microwavable meals, and they do what we call cook bags, which is grocery bags once a week.
And I
Um,
also want to reach out to V. I want to also add, guys. I know a lot of us we think too highly of ourselves, and we don't think we fall under any umbrella of homeless organizations. But I am pretty sure if you can find a homeless organization in your area, while they might not be doing it, they're going to know as well who else
food
is
distribution.
passing out food and resources. Because every homeless organization, I don't care where you are, they work with some type of food organization, so on and so forth. And I'm gonna tell y'all what's been one of my secrets that I ain't want to tell black folks, but I'm gonna
What?
tell y'all anyway. What's the religion? The libertarians,
Mhm.
the white libertarians, baby, the white libertarian church, they is very giving people. The white libertarians, I promise you, if you got a libertarian church in your neighbor, if you go the white, it must be like part of their code of living that they must help anybody. Like if you need some help,
Correct.
baby, you better go knock on them white libertarian people though. They would give you everything that you need.
That's right. That's right. And it's time for those type of resources to be made public. Like,
Mm-hmm.
some institutions have been doing this for years and years
Mm-hmm.
and years before it was even a threat to the food stamps because America was already experiencing food insecurities with the food stamps in place.
Mm-hmm.
That's why
Mm-hmm.
you've had organizations that still need to feed people.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, the churches are a huge thing. We saw what Pastor Jamal Bryan did. I actually really commend him for
The
that.
Presbyterian, Lord have mercy, Jesus. I
The
said, what I
Presbyterian.
said, Lutheritarian, the Youthitarians, the Presbyterians. Them is the
Oh,
most
okay.
giving ass white people I know. Go to the Presbyterian church. Go to the
And there's a lot
Presbyterians.
of Black Presbyterian churches too.
Okay.
So you can go to, yeah, yeah. It may be one closer to your community than you think.
Go,
So
Lord, why I said libertarians. Go to the
I,
Presbyterian.
it's okay. It's okay. But the Presbyterian Church is really great, and seeing what Pastor Jamal Bryant did was, I think, like a game changer.
Mm-hmm.
Like I felt like when he called his congregation to order
Mm-hmm.
to be able to help and support the community in a good way, and I really, really admire him for that. But I hope that influenced other faith institutions, not just churches. I mean, mosques, all of that,
Mm-hmm.
temples. Like if you can stand up something, you should, or
Mm-hmm.
be in partnership with organizations that are moving some stuff because at this point it's all hands on deck. Like this is not business as usual. And although some people may not feel the impact of it yet, or some people, because in certain states say they're going to cover the food stamps for the month of November. So some folks' stamps may have dropped, but people need to understand that that's 1 month of stamps from your state government.
Mm-hmm.
That is not the money from the federal government.
Mm-hmm.
So depending on how long these fools are playing golf with our livelihoods,
Mm-hmm.
we don't know how long the situation will last. Also, Q, you're not gonna get very political, so I just want to say these few things. One, if y'all pay attention to how fascist governments um, act in these moments, right? And you have different countries that you can see the history. This is the playbook of how they infiltrate our government. And I know people are like, oh, the red or the white right wing or whatever. This is bigger than that at this point. And I think people really need to understand that if they continue to take away our resources, the fact that the government is shut down because he wants to take away our health care and now our food stamps to be held back, that is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That is crazy. And I think that's something that we need to pay attention to because regardless if we get the stamps back next month or not because they open up the government, they're only going to reopen up the government if the Trumpsters get what they want with this healthcare thing.
Mm-hmm.
So we gonna be effed over either way it go in this moment. You get what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So what I need people to understand is, yes, this may last us 3 weeks, or this shit may be forever.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what they're going to do with these services because the right wing had already toyed around with taking away food stamps anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So, so this is maybe their chance to do it,
Mm-hmm.
and people gonna be upset and everything, but people also don't feel like it's anything they can do in this moment. I also want to like warn people in this moment, like the money is not money in like it was in 2024.
Mm-hmm.
The money is not money in or whatever. And this is not COVID. You remember COVID, people was scrambling and
Mm-hmm.
then but the government released emergency stamps, put all these things in place that you couldn't get evicted and everything. None
Mm-hmm.
of that is happening this time. This is
Mm-hmm.
not a COVID situation. So we have to be politically ready, right? Like you brought up voting. And even though I know it's going to be an uphill battle with the voting piece, but I do think it's important that people get out there and vote. Like literally, they always say vote or die or vote for your life. But literally in this moment, like this government that's in place is literally taking away everything that provides you your livelihood. Over 300,000 Black women
Have
are
gone.
unemployed in the United
Mm-hmm.
States of America, and it's only been 10 months. Like, what do we do in this moment? And that's a direct attack, especially on the Black community, because through big government in the 1930s, they made Black women the head of the household.
Mm-hmm.
You remember back in the day, you couldn't get food stamps or nothing
Mm-hmm.
if a man was in the house, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then now Black women are thriving all these years later. Then they took a jab at us economically, and then putting the food stamps on top of that. I feel like it's a direct attack on all people, but very specifically the Black community in
Most
this moment.
definitely. Most
And
definitely.
I wanted to also say, Q, I want people also to know that bigger dynasties have failed at the hands of the people who had less access to education, less access to influence and resources, y'all. It's going to be hard,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of what the government says. It's going to be hard. But one thing I know about our people is that we would stand up and do something to, even if it's just to support ourselves, right? And I wanted to share a story with you last night. Last night we went out to serve
Mm-hmm.
last night for our first night, and we went on to this street called 18th Avenue in Liberty City. Q, you know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So we get over there, pass out the food in like 10 minutes. It's all gone. Hundreds of plates. It's cool. That's what we wanted. And the families was walking up on me and was like, yeah, this came right on time because my stamps didn't hit this morning like they were supposed to. And I'm like, that's why I'm here because the food stamps are not coming.
Mm-hmm.
And those people was like, you're lying.
Mm-hmm.
Like people were still unaware.
Mm-hmm.
And that's very, very scary.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
very, very scary because those people really got up that morning like, yeah, my food stamp's just a day late.
Mm-hmm. Didn't think anything
And
of it. Yeah.
right. And then, I also wanted to clear up a few myths. If you have food stamps left over from last year, you can use your food stamp. I mean, last month you could
Mm-hmm.
use your food stamp card now.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
can use your rollover or whatnot. Certain states will be distributing food stamps. I don't have the list right now, but that's a really good sign that some states are like, we give it to you. But Georgia and Florida,
Mm.
Don't hold your breath,
I know. So,
Tammy.
so V, let me ask you this. Now, if you are somebody, if you are a restaurant owner, if you are a caterer, what can you do? Are there places where they can take leftover food from a catering job? Is there places they can take food from the end of the day where the food doesn't go to waste? Because that's something else we know in America, that we waste so much food. And if there is not a time that is evidentiary of that, it is now when folks need food and we go to restaurants and we see, for legal reasons, because we are also very sue happy in America, that these restaurants, organizations, and grocery stores have to throw food out. Me and a friend were talking last night, and I was just like, hell, the grocery stores, I really, and I understand why they don't let people dumpster dive, because somebody gonna get sick and it's gonna be they come up and they gonna want to sue Publix, right? I just don't understand why we don't live in a world where there's a big ass dumpster with all the damn food and a sign on it that say "Eat at your own damn risk" and you can't sue us if you eat this damn shit. But
Yeah,
nevertheless, store that's a conversation for another day. If you are somebody who has surplus food, what do you suggest people do with food that they have
yeah.
surplus of?
Adopt a pantry, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Find an organization that could take the food. I know, like for me, for example, the local hospital, shout out to Dr. Armin Henderson. He's working with University of Miami Hospital to give us their leftover food, and he was like, "V, the only thing they asking if you sign a liability waiver, like the liability won't be on them. Say less. I'm signing it.
Mm-hmm.
Run the food. You get what I'm saying? So that's one thing. Like when a restaurant or whatever, if you want to give the extra food and you scared of the liability, ask the organization to sign a waiver that you don't have the liability.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Most organizations are willing to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And we just hope that you are being in good faith, that you're giving us good food.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But like that's one of the things. Also, having those pre-cooked meals are so helpful, so helpful. One, they could stretch a long way. Two, um, it doesn't require the organization to buy as much food.
Mm-hmm.
And three, we have different people living in different type of housing predicaments these days. Like a mother, I mean, y'all been seeing the TikToks and stuff. They live in the hotels.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? They don't have stoves to cook in, or y'all don't understand that it's a lot of people living inside of storage units in
Mm-hmm.
America.
They are.
Um, and so with those, you have those meals. Even our elderly, they don't
Mm-hmm.
always like to cook. Having those pre-cooked meals is really good. So if you are a restaurant and you feel compelled, don't even throw it in the dumpster. Literally, you could call that organization. Most people have a way to get it picked up
Mm-hmm.
and bring it. If you in South Florida, you want to donate, you can hit me up directly, baby, because we could get the trucks to be moving.
Okay, we'll come
But
get
in
the shit.
other cities adopt an organization, adopt a church that's feeding people,
Mm-hmm.
get the food to them,
Get the
and then
food to
they
the
can move the
church.
food for you. Yeah, give it to the church, give it to those pantries, give it to those organizations. They can use those donations. I was hoping to see some of the fluid food influencers start to speak up. I saw something Keith Lee said something just recently, which was good, right? And these people have access to like the restaurant community. And I would love if more influencers like Hungry Black Man here in Miami,
Mm-hmm.
he's already working on some stuff for us here in South Florida. But like if other food influencers, people who have platforms, especially food influencers, can talk with some of these institutions that have food and maybe help, like, build some of these bridges
Mm-hmm.
between the
Between.
organizations and things like that, especially in your home city. You get what I'm saying? Even if you just do it for your home city, that's fine too. I also think restaurant and grocery stores, y'all, I know time's gonna be hard for everybody, so I get it. So even if you can't give a full meal, giving us 4 pans of rice is so helpful.
Yeah.
Giving us 3 pans of vegetables is helpful.
Yeah.
Even if you can't give us protein all the time,
Yeah.
just giving
Whatever.
us the
Whatever
sides.
you have.
Right,
Whatever you
right.
have. I also see a lot of people on here saying the Too Good to Go app. I'm not familiar with that. I'm not sure if you are, but a lot of people are saying the Too Good to Go. Hey Siri, Too Good to Go app. I'm assuming it's an app for food that's too good to go. I'm assuming that's what it is. I'm gonna look it up really quickly. V, you go ahead and talk while I look this up.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right
Too
now.
good.
Um, yeah,
So
so one that's one good app. And I know this sister, I forgot her first name, but her app is called Gooder, Goodr. And she's for years been working with big restaurants to move food to community. So that's another good app to look at to get food support, y'all.
okay,
And
so
that's
really quickly, guys, the Too Good to Go app is an app designed to end food waste. Food was made to be eaten. It's an app that lets you save extra food from local restaurants so it does not go to waste. So there we
okay.
go. We already have some apps and mechanisms in place, guys. A lot of people are saying it's a very good app. I don't know much about it. I will know more about it by the 8 o'clock show, so I can talk about it more. Somebody says we use Too Good to Go at my restaurant. Q. I am assuming maybe you put the food on the app and people can just come get it for free or little or nothing. Let me click. I'm assuming that's what her judge is.
That's what it's looking like. And not if that is the case, one, I'm about to sign my organization up right now.
Okay, yeah. So look, it says low cost surprise bags offered by restaurants, markets, specialty stores, coffee shops each day. Fully prepped meals, baked goods, fresh produce. There's a variety of options. Simply make a reservation and show up at the scheduled time to pick up the bag. So I am assuming this is just an assumption that I'm making that the food is either free or at very, very little cost based on the cost that the restaurant sets. Either way, a little bit of something is better than a whole lot of nothing. Make it
Amazing.
enough, okay?
but
Make it if the people say
that's
if the
such a
people
good
say they
app.
charging $3 for a surprise bag, make it enough.
That's
Mm-hmm.
more than enough for a surprise bag
Yeah,
of
yes,
food.
yes.
Yeah, so that's really, really good. And I've been seeing some of these grocers doing some stuff like, Aldi. I mean, Aldi always been down with the with having the cheaper food, but they now have like the $40 Thanksgiving box.
Yeah,
I'm quite sure there ain't gonna be no Black Thanksgiving, but it'll be a Thanksgiving nonetheless.
yeah, yeah.
And then so yeah, like that platform, Gooder is another one to look into. If you want to set your business up there or whatnot, the app that you just said. And these are great platforms for people who want to help to get the food down to the community. If they don't do it that way, then you could just contact an organization of your choice and work with them directly. It is super, super, super helpful,
Mm-hmm.
y'all, in so many ways.
Mm-hmm.
And then I want to also just talk through how not just influencers, but like how individuals can help too,
Okay.
right? So in this moment, a lot of organizations would need volunteers.
Mm-hmm.
Like yesterday, the food we cooked, I cooked enough food for 350 people. I cooked the food.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't mind cooking because I do my thing the way I need to do my thing, but I would love
Some
for some
help.
more help. Even though we had some volunteers there, we could have used more.
Mm-hmm.
And that's happening. So also with the local organizations, if you have the time and the capacity, even if you come in there for food, you can be like, hey, can I come back tomorrow and volunteer?
Mm-hmm.
Or, you give and get, and that'd be super helpful for organizations in this moment. That'd be a good way to do it. And if you decide to like do your own food giveaways and stuff like that, like I want to see the grandmas make the big pot of spaghetti on the block and
Yes.
everybody get a plate too. You feel me?
Yes.
I like that thinking too. But also just a few things. One, we want to make sure that we are giving our people good food. So if you want service to your family, I ask that you do not serve it to the people. If it don't look good, if it make you gag,
Don't get it to
don't
nobody.
give it away.
Yeah.
Like that's the level I'm asking people to do it for. If you think it's too old for you to eat, don't
Don't give it to
serve it to
nobody else.
anybody.
Uh-huh.
Because what we don't want to do is harm our people while we're trying to help
Help
them.
them as well.
Right?
And guys, I
And
want to point out really quickly, I'm sorry, that Too Good to Go app, guys, a lot of people in the comments are saying Whole Foods is on that app. And from what I've been able to read in the comments, they're saying it's not free, it's just a small fee. I'm pretty sure it's like the transaction fee from the
yeah.
website or whatever. But I would suggest if you short on food, you get on that bad boy right now, especially if you can go get Whole Foods, and that's what I'm talking about. All that food from that hot bar and stuff, I'm pretty sure that that's probably what they're giving away as opposed to throwing the food away. Go ahead, V.
And they also give away their produce too.
Okay.
So that another good thing. Because we sometimes get donations at the Village Fridge from Whole Foods.
Mm-hmm.
Give a lot of produce.
Produce.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's probably mixed in those bags too. So and bread, so just
Things that are
go
gonna
go
go
check it
bad.
out.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I could make a meal out of a lot of things, you hear me? So
Mm.
give me a surprise bag and
That
I'll
part.
surprise you up in here. So that's one of the ways. I also, like I was saying, like the grandmas and stuff. So if you decide to do something at home and you never handled this much food before, just being mindful of how you do it, how you package the food, changing your gloves and all of that stuff, pulling your hair back.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care, like I don't give a fuck who I'm feeding, Q. I don't want no hair in my
In
food.
my
Like that's
food,
just
most
nasty.
definitely. Most
Like,
definitely.
yeah, like, I know we're not restaurants and stuff like that, but we need to be mindful. And I just want to make sure, like, even if you're getting the donations and you want to give it to somebody, if it needs to be refrigerated, you need to refrigerate it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you need to do those things because food poisoning and cross contamination is a huge thing
Mm-hmm.
while handling a lot of food. And I know not everybody has brick and mortar space like myself in the Village Fridge, so we have a lot of like the health things in place. But if you want to do it at home, you should think about those things. I also created a manual
Mm-hmm.
that I'm gonna send to you, Q, that you can give to whoever. That if you want to stand up your own operation, this is the way we do it. The safety tips, the whole thing, in the food care and food safety storage stuff in there that you all can use whatever pieces of you want to. That's our love letter
Mm-hmm.
to our people in this moment. Like this is how we handle food outside of the government
Mm-hmm.
when big corporations give us food and all this stuff. So it's just a way for people to be able to do the thing on their own. I think I have a great organization, but my organization ain't gonna be able to feed everybody.
Everybody, absolutely,
So I just want to
absolutely.
help
As
feed people
many
as
as we
many
can.
as
And this
possible.
information has been so vital. And I'm looking at all the information in the chat, and people are putting a lot of very valuable information in there. V, before we get up off the line, is there anything in closing that you would like to share with everybody?
Yes. So one, thank you, Q, for allowing me to be on your platform. I
Absolutely.
really appreciate you creating space for me, and I'm always grateful for your friendship.
Thank you.
I also, I run the Smile Trust in the Freedom Lab. That's our liberation laboratory in Liberty City. We could use donations. We can use non-perishable goods. We can use water. We can use volunteers. If you know how to cook, we have a full kitchen, and we're gonna get the food. You could come help us cook. You could come help us with that too. The Village Fridge functions every day except for Sunday in the morning. They could use volunteers. They could use more donations. We're both in the same building. So we could use the help, we could use the donation. So if you don't mind donating to us, that'd be great. If you are a local restaurant and you see this interview, put us on your list to donate to. And if not, if we don't fit your bill, I know a lot of great organizations around South Florida that I could connect you to. If you want to like feed in Broward or Palm Beach, I just want to make sure like the food is moving to the people, even if it's not through my organization.
Mhm.
And then also, Thursday through Saturdays at the Freedom Lab, we have a free clinic open ran by Dr. Armin Henderson. This is completely free healthcare. You don't have to pay any charges. You don't have to pay any of that. And it's from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Thursday through Saturday. You can come in and see a doctor. Friday, we have a psychiatrist on site. So you can come in. And I just wanted to let folks know that we'll be there. The address to the Freedom Lab is 4300 Northwest 12th Avenue, Miami, Florida. And this is a space for people to come, get what you need, no judgment, none of that stuff here. For our migrant brothers and sisters, we have a no ICE zone at our space, so you could come get services there. Don't have to worry about none of that here. For queer and trans folks, you are safe in our space, all different backgrounds. I don't care what your work is or any of that. You are welcome into our space as long as you come respectful and willing to wait in the line like everybody else. But yeah, I just want to let folks know that we are already in action. Would love to see our faces around and also bring resources if you can. And if you can't, all you have is the sweat equity. We definitely could take that too. And yeah, that's what I have here. Oh, and if you're not in South Florida, find your local organizations, volunteer with them, donate to them, support them. People are doing great work. I do have a list of orgs I'm gonna send you for Atlanta that I work with closely
Okay,
already.
send it
That's
to me,
doing
and that
some
way I
work.
can put it in my description box of the video, post it on my Instagram and all of that. And guys, once again, for those of you guys who are late, if you just happen to be in need and you don't know where to turn, you want to start out with a simple Google search: Social Justice Organization Miami, Social Justice Organization Memphis. Wherever you live, social justice organizations, put in your city. That will at least give you a starting point. Each and every one of those organizations, while they may not be handing out food, they know hands down which organization is. Secondly, guys, you want to type in food pantries, Sandy Springs, food pantries, Opalaka, food pantries, Tallahassee. That's another good starting point to go get some immediate food. And honestly and truthfully, guys, I'm beyond positive that if you connect with one or several of those organizations, you will get stuck in the net and you will get other resources. I'm sure there may be some people out there giving away some gift cards. There may be some
That's
people out there
right.
doing utility vouchers. There may be some people out there helping with rent. But the first place to start is social organizations under your city, food pantries, your city. And guys, don't forget, find a church. Go ask your church. Go bam on them hoes, though. And if you got a little extra money to give, a little extra food, we went over some apps. Too Good to Go. There's a few others. Some people said dial 211. Guys, the information is out there. We just got to do a little bit of digging, a little bit of researching, but it's out there and we gonna make it happen. And please feel free to either DM me or email me if you have some more valuable information that can be shared. V, can you tell the people where they can find you across all social media?
Yeah, so on Instagram and Facebook, my organization is the Smile Trust Inc. on all platforms.
Mhm.
My personal is my first and last name, Valencia Gunder, and on TikTok, I'm your gay auntie. You can see all the information on all of these pages and whatnot. Also, the Freedom Lab Miami on all platforms. You should be able to find information about what we have going on and how you can like step in. And if you inbox me, I can definitely give you my email address and we could connect.
Sounds good, everybody. Valencia Gunda, everybody. All right, now y'all get back to what y'all was doing. Be sure to spread the information, and I'll see y'all hoes at 8 o'clock. Bye.